Hey, good morning, everyone.
Hi Gemma, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh yeah, I've got my husband's name on my thing.
Yeah,
It's Carol.
that's okay, Karen. Thanks for joining us. We've just got a few people just slowly trickling in into the meeting. So if you just bear with us for a couple of minutes and then we'll get started very soon. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
just get started again.
okay.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is our first Northern Region networking meeting that we are trialing over Zoom. So thank you all for joining us. We just will be recording the meeting, so just letting everyone know. And if everyone could just pop themselves on mute while you're not speaking, just so we don't get background noise. If you do have a question that you'd like to ask, feel free to pop yourself off mute. We do have a few periods throughout the presentation where we will be asking for any questions. And you will just see a little microphone symbol on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. So that's just how you pop yourself on and off mute there.
And so for those of you who I haven't met before, my name's Gemma. And yes, so I look after few divisions in Northern as the health promotion team leader. So that's Far Northern, Atherton, Tableland, and Pioneer. So welcome to any of my facilitators. And yeah, today I'm co-presenting this presentation with Aleks as well.
Yes, so I look after Northern Division from Northern Region.
Yeah.
So we've also got Meg on the call with us today as well, who you might see on your screen, and Meg's just the State Program Manager for Country Kitchens.
Hi, everyone.
Okay. So I'd just like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land from which we are presenting from today, and along with the traditional owners from where you are signing on today, and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging.
All right. So as Aleks said, this is the very first of our facilitator networking meetings. So I guess this kind of format's come about after a few, requests and some feedback from facilitators. So obviously being a very, far-reaching organisation, we've got amazing members and facilitators that are doing work all over the state in their branches, but a lot of what we do is, trying to increase and encourage those opportunities for us to be able to meet and work with other people in areas that are close by in other communities. So hopefully this meeting will give you a little bit of introductions maybe to some other facilitators that you haven't had a chance to meet before. Or even just having a bit of a sharing of ideas of how other people go about their country kitchens activities in their communities and what works well for them. So that's kind of how this meeting idea has come about. And for today, we've got an hour set aside to go through a few things with you all. So basically our agenda for today, we're going to be breaking this meeting into three different sections. So we're going to start with a bit of a presentation from Aleks and myself. And the focus of today's meeting, we thought might be valuable to start for you all is talking about different ways that you can look to expand your country kitchens activities from, maybe you're only really focusing on doing things within your branch at the moment, and then looking at ways that we can expand those activities to be a little bit more outward facing and external to branch or QCWA only type activities. So that's going to be the focus of our presentation this morning. And then after Aleks and I are done with our section, we do have one of our fabulous facilitators, Mary-Therese Watson from Sarina Branch in Pioneer Division. So Mary-Therese is going to be sharing some of her experiences of how she has taken a few steps just to start to branch out from that branch level activity into the community and talk a little bit more about showcase type activities. Then at the end, after we've spoken to Mary-Therese, Then we're going to have basically an open floor opportunity for all of you to share any of your ideas, ask us questions, ask questions of Mary-Therese or even of other facilitators on the call. So that's what we have in store for us today. So to kick things off, this is a slide that hopefully all of you as facilitators are quite familiar with. This is our training pathway. So as I said, we're going to be talking mostly about how we can start to look to, evolve your country kitchens activities from branch level out to the community. So when we're talking about your more branch level type activities, these are mostly going to be falling on level 1 to 2 or level 3 of our pathway. So some examples might be, maybe for level 1, you have some experience sharing the monthly munch just within your branch meeting. Maybe for level 2, you're regularly incorporating recipe promotions at your branch meetings. Or maybe you have been supplying catering or doing recipe promotions at other branch or division meetings or other QCWA events. So they're the types of branch-facing activities you might do for level 1 and 2. And then for level 3, if you're currently, maybe incorporating a bit of a static showcase within your branch hall, or you might be doing interactive showcases maybe at a branch or a division meeting or other QCWA event. So those are kind of our branch level activities. And what I said that we're going to be focusing on is, how you can kind of start to shift that to have more externally facing activities, which are achievable at all levels of our program. So Aleks will take you through now some of the benefits to this.
Okay, so there are lots of benefits to expanding country kitchens out to your community and doing more of those community-facing activities. First off, country kitchens is a really good way for your branch to be present in the community and doing particularly those level 3 activities and above, so showcases, can help to build your confidence on the program, along with your confidence just with public speaking in general and quite a relaxed atmosphere. So there are some benefits to your branch as well. So doing more of those outward-facing activities does just give your community an opportunity to hear about your branch and QCWA in general, and it does have the potential to boost your branch's membership. But showcases can also be used as or in conjunction with other fundraising events. So it can be a good opportunity to raise some funds for your branch and for future country kitchens activities. But most importantly, it does also give you the opportunity to improve the food and nutrition knowledge of your community members through the sharing of skills and the sharing of the program's 5 key messages. So community activities and country kitchens is really central to the QCWA strategic plan, which we're just going to go through very briefly on the next slide. So hopefully everyone has seen this document before. If not, you can find it on the QCWA website if you'd like to read through it fully. So this is just a bit of a summary that we've got on the screen here now. But as you know, the QCWA is a registered charity, and so therefore the association's focus should really be on activities for public benefit as defined by our objects. So these are to advance education and social or public welfare for Queensland women by alleviating social isolation, promoting public health, providing aid and acting as a voice. So the Country Kitchens program really fits in with our objects, particularly through the promotion of public health. And so that's specifically in this Healthy Queensland Women focus area. So here we aim to build capacity for health promotion, improve health and wellbeing of Queenslanders, and create profound partnerships. So that is where the Country Kitchens program really fits in quite nicely.
All right. So I guess, that's why we are really trying to encourage some more outwardly facing types of activities. So if this is something that you're interested in and maybe you're currently, mostly doing activities within your branch space only, the first step would be to start planning the type of community event that you would like to deliver. So when we're thinking about community-facing events, often it can be, I guess, easiest to tap into an event that's already occurring in your community. So there's many different communities across Queensland. They all look very different, but one thing that we do all have in common is wanting to, have that sense of connection and community. So often, even the smallest of towns, there can be plenty of things going on. So there's always opportunity, and it's just a matter of looking into, where you can fit in and what type of event will align kind of with the overall goals of Country Kitchens and the QCWA more broadly. So a couple of good places to start, which then, align with Country Kitchen. Often something like a council event, so going to the council website, having a look at what upcoming events or anything they have, if they have an events page, that can be a great place to start. A lot of our facilitators really enjoy doing Country Kitchen showcases at local ag shows. So personally, I've been involved in a lot of those, and I know a lot of people in the northern region of the QCWA really quite regularly like to tap into those local shows and expos. So another type of event that you might want to have a look into is often there's a lot of community wellness days or like seniors expos or women's wellness events. So anything that kind of has that wellness or health theme might have a specific event, which is also a great opportunity. Often they're, looking for community partners or programs to be able to showcase their program and their resources and services that they offer. So that can be a really good point, starting point for Country Kitchen. Other places to look, of course, Queensland Health, if they have events or other things going on, even other community groups or organisations. So going to them directly and asking what they have. Another few places that can be really good areas to look, even things like community newsletters or public notice boards, just having a look around for any of those opportunities. And of course, as with anything, never underestimate the power of word of mouth as well. So just having those connections with your community, you might learn about something that's already an existing community event that you could tap into. So on the flip side, again, of course, sometimes there's just not a lot happening, or maybe the current events don't have space or availability, or they're not going to quite align with the goals or, what you're wanting to do to get started. So in that case, if you can't find any existing events to tap into, you might like to explore other opportunities with some local community partners. So this comes back to, we know that there's lots of benefits in partnering with other like-minded organisations or businesses in order to get your message across. As I said, it doesn't have to be a specific event that's already organised. You might be able to work with those connections and those partners to be able to create your own opportunity to showcase Country Kitchens and run a community health promotion activity. So what we want to make sure is, of course, when you're looking for those partnerships, there might be something that you already have yourself. So maybe you personally have already done some business or know of, for example, someone in like a local shopping centre, and that might be a great opportunity to then ask if you could do a display. But your other members and people within your own branch, or even a bit more broadly within the QCWA, might have some connections with outside organisations and groups as well that you could visit. So a few examples then, I guess, of these other opportunities that aren't organised events per se. I guess, for example, I briefly touched on that supermarket example. So I do know that we've had some facilitators that, as a bit of an idea to try to do some of their very first showcases, approached a local supermarket, and they knew that there was going to be really high traffic and interest on a Saturday morning when most people do their shopping. So they set up this showcase out the front of the supermarket, and in turn cross-promoted the fact that they had prepared all of the taste testers that they were handing out to people for free with produce that they bought from the supermarket. So that was kind of a good example of them creating their own kind of event and opportunity. I know we've also had some facilitators who have just set up like little cooking demonstrations inside shopping centres, or even just going to a school or a kindergarten or some other group and doing an interactive or a demonstration showcase. So doing a bit of a 5 key message talk where you have taste testers or a demo, as I said, and using that as an opportunity to share the 5 key messages and kind of create your own event. So yeah, 2 different ways you could go about it. So as an example then of some of those options, we thought we'd quickly run through some really simple level 2 or level 3 activity ideas that you could do to get started in making then transition from country kitchens activities in your branch to be more outwardly facing. So first up, for recipe promotions, some easy ideas are that a lot of our facilitators have gotten into the habit of regularly sharing country kitchens recipes in newsletters. So that might be newsletters that other community groups, businesses put out, even local newspapers. I know we have a number of branches who regularly, share those in local papers. We also have a facilitator from Northern Division who came up with a little bit of an outside the box recipe promotion idea, which was to share our butterbean banana brownie recipe with a local cafe. And the cafe were really impressed and have decided to add that country kitchens recipe to their menu for a period of time. And then that was a great way to be able to cross-promote the program. The cafe had recipe cards available to customers as well, so it could kind of share that message while also promoting health and partnering with that local business. So that's a couple of easy level 2 ideas. And if you're maybe a little bit more interested in going down the showcase route, a static showcase is a really good place to start. So we've got a picture on the screen there. So this is an example of a static showcase that was taken, I think, in Southern region. So this is in a local library, and as you can see, they've got a banner, a table of some resources that anyone who comes into the library is able to come and take and go as they please, and then a bit of a more semi-permanent glass cabinet display there too. So obviously, as we know, static showcases are great because it doesn't require as much, investment of time, because face-to-face you don't need to be there. You can just set something up and come back and top it up as you see fit. So many different locations you could do this, but a library, a council, any other high traffic area where you think you'd have, a captive audience of the type of demographic that you're looking to target. And then in terms of other showcases, if we're talking about something like an interactive showcase, so that's where you might do a brief talk about the 5 key messages, maybe have some taste testers available, or even take it up a notch and do a cooking demo. I know we've had some facilitators in the Cairns area partner with local Play Matters group to do a talk there. So something like that can be a great, a great way to start building up your confidence in delivering these types of activities. And I did just want to touch quickly as well, just if you receive our NutEd by email newsletter, which is our newsletter specifically for facilitators that comes out every month, you may have seen the most recent edition. We shared a bit of a video about level 1 to 2 country kitchens activities. And that video is really designed to complement the facilitator training that you would have already completed. But just wanted to let you all know that we will be having more videos for level 3 static, interactive, and demonstration come out shortly. And yeah, those videos might be a nice place for you to get a little bit more examples or ideas of these types of activities as well if you're interested. So keep an eye out for those.
Okay, so moving on to planning. Obviously, once you've decided where your showcase is going to be, you want to think about connecting with the relevant community partners to make everything happen. So this can be done through either informal or formal networking. And so it is really important to follow up initial discussions with a bit more of a formal conversation to really lock in all of those details and particulars. And depending on the partner, you could do this in a number of different ways. It might be just over the phone if that's easiest and works best for both parties, or it might be through email or a written letter, or in some situations, it's just easier to meet in person to plan out some of those logistics. So if you are meeting with a partner and you're wanting to, discuss some future plans, make sure to use QCWA and Country Kitchen's brochures or other program collateral, just to make sure that the partners have a good understanding of both the QCWA and the Country Kitchen's program and your showcase intentions. So we do have obviously brochures and things that you're able to use, but we do also have a formal letter template that can be used to as a bit of a starting point for some of these conversations. And so you are able to download that from the Facilitator section of the website, or you can just get in touch with your Country Kitchens buddy and we can send this to you. So it's just a bit of a template where you can sort of substitute in the name of who it is that you're speaking to. It gives a brief overview of the program, and it's just a good starting point for reaching out to that particular organisational group and getting the ball rolling in terms of planning some sort of a showcase or other event together. So it is really important to keep your branch in the loop with your ideas or any plans or partnerships that you have pending, just because you are representing the QCWA when doing activities in the community. So how this plays out might vary a little bit for every branch. And so it really just depends on, how things are run at your branch. But I guess one of the potential benefits of keeping everyone in the loop is that it can help you get a few helpers on the day for your activity too. So if you are needing additional support, say to run a bigger activity out in the community, you can also reach out to neighbouring facilitators and branches. So we have had lots of cases where branches have been willing to help out neighbouring facilitators, and this really does just make the experience that little bit better for all involved. So if you are wanting to get in touch with some of those other facilitators, your Country Kitchens buddy would probably be the first best person to get in touch with, and then we can see if we can put you in contact. We can, see that everyone's happy to have their details shared and foster a little bit of collaboration that way as well. So that really brings us to the end of the sort of formal presentation part. If anyone has any questions about any of the content that we've covered there or anything else that's popped in your mind, you can ask those now, or we will have a couple more opportunities for questions throughout the meeting.
Does anyone have any questions for us at this point? Feel free to take yourself off mute, or I'm seeing a few head shakes, so it might be okay for now. Wonderful. All right. Well, in that case, we might just push on to our next phase of this meeting. So now I would like to invite Mary-Therese from Sarina Branch, who is also the Pioneer Country Kitchens Division Convenor, to briefly speak about her experience with planning and executing country kitchen showcases in her community. So thank you very much, Mary-Therese. If you would like to just take yourself off mute, if that's okay. So we can hear you.
Oh, no, it hasn't quite
No,
worked.
not yet. Still on mute. Is anything popping up when I'm just clicking ask to unmute?
Oh,
Sorry, there's just a little unmute button there, Mary-Therese. We just can't hear you. Yeah. Sorry, everyone. So, Mary-Therese, we just can't hear you. We might just call you to.
no. A bit of troubleshooting over the
Thanks,
phone.
everyone. All right, everyone. So we're just having. Oh,
Working now? No, that's through my phone.
Hi everyone. It looks like we're still just working to get Mary-Therese connected with her sound. So I thought I might just jump in just in case, anyone would like to ask any questions at this stage. I know Jemma had provided the opportunity before, but given we've got this short delay, I thought I would, as I say, ask if anyone had any particular questions that they wanted to ask or any any updates they wanted to provide, anything they wanted to share with people on the call about what they've been doing, perhaps some of the successes.
I did. Yep. Can you hear me now, though?
Oh, looks like Mary-Therese might be online, so
Yes,
I'll
we can hear you. Yep, we can hear you, Mary-Therese.
Yeah. See, something's changed.
Something's
it wasn't
changed,
me.
but it's working. So that's great. We've got you logged in twice, but hopefully that won't be a problem. We just can't see you, but that's all right. I think we'll just.
All right. Wonderful. At least we can hear you and you can hear us, and that's the most important thing. So thank you everyone for bearing with us while we have those technical issues. But yeah, as I said today, Mary-Therese is just going to be talking a little bit through her experience of running showcases, so some of the highlights and I guess also the challenges that she's faced along the way. So welcome, Mary-Therese.
Thank you.
Firstly, would you mind just telling us a little bit about yourself? So how long have you been a part of the QCWA and how long have you been a Country Kitchens facilitator?
I've been with QCWA for a while, but obviously, like everyone, life gets in our way. So I have been the last few years involved with Sarina on a more, certainly spending more time with QCWA, and Country Kitchens is something that I really believe in. So I was fairly keen to become involved, and now I'm Country Kitchens convener with the division. So I've got lots of exciting because we're working as a little team, we've got some really exciting ideas. So we may be able to get going.
Amazing. Great. And what was the drive that made you become a Country Kitchens facilitator or get involved with the program?
I think we've been given a gift, whether we like it or not, from Queensland Health, believe it or not. And that is that we've got dietitians at our fingertips. That is just amazing, I believe. And I think that is something which we all really need to use as much as we can. Because, if we're going to maintain our health and we want to live a longer, food and what we eat is very important.
Wonderful. And is there anything that you particularly, I guess, stands out to you the most as being something that you enjoy about being part of Country Kitchens?
Well, for me personally, I believe that it is the fact that there was that support there, that you're not sitting out here on your own trying to run something or do something, and you know that the support behind you is spot on. So I find that knowing that Country Kitchens got dietitians there, and then we've got all of the paperwork. I believe that it's quite, motivating, and it's something that's great for the community. It's great for ourselves and for our families. I think it's a positive all the way around.
Yeah, oh, wonderful. Yeah, and that's probably, a lot of the idea of what we're trying to do with this session as well is hopefully show people that, like working together and being able to have those connections with other facilitators. But also within teams and across branches is really an important part of this program as well. So, great. So do you remember the very first activity that you did as a facilitator and how did it go?
One of the first things would have been the local show where we had our display, and that went really well. People were interested, and I think it's motivating for people that are involved with Country Kitchens if they see that other people, the community, families, ourselves, that others are interested in the program. So that was really good, and there was lots of interest, lots of feedback, sharing of information, recipes. They wanted recipe books. So I thought it was good, and it's something that we have continued and we will continue in the Pioneer Division.
Yeah, wonderful, great. And I know you've been involved in quite a few showcases, obviously since that first one. So maybe looking back at all of the different showcases that you've been involved in, do any maybe stand out as being a favourite or one that you're particularly proud to have been involved in?
I think probably doing static displays, such as at the library or, at the Bendigo Bank, was good in that it showed that you could do it without a lot of other help. Like, a few of us put it together and then you can leave it there for a week just checking. And it's amazing how many people are taking recipes. And you're looking at all that sugar display and the amount of people who comment when they see you at a later date say, oh, that was great. Having a look at how much sugar, it's so surprising how much is in some of our drinks. People think they're doing, the right thing when in actual fact it's full of sugar. So I think that was a big plus. Doing the cooking with the Indigenous people, that was really educational, where we were able to, just sort of work through the recipes. That was exciting, and we will reevaluate that in the next few weeks.
Yeah. So for everyone on the call there, do you want to talk a little bit about what that activity was and who you partnered with?
We partnered with a local Indigenous group at Miller House, and they're a very, very active, very good group of people. So they were really happy to have us partner with them, and vice versa. And we did 4 sessions, and there's where Jemma
Back
came
to
up
basics workshops. Yeah.
Back to basics with the workshop.
Yeah.
And so that was good. Lots of skills people, were able to pick up, and they seemed to all enjoy it. They kept coming, and I think that's a big plus. If you've got 4 weeks, you've still got them at the end.
Yeah.
And then keen to have a morning tea and go through, how they've gained from that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful. And then I guess with that static showcase that you mentioned as well, so that was a display that you set up with the local Bendigo Bank branch in your community. Is that right? And how did you start, or how did that activity come to be, or who did you have to talk to?
Because I have connection with, like we all do, with so many people around town, that seemed like a good one to start with. And they were really keen for us to come in and have a display at the bank. And we asked, for a week to start, but then it ended up 2 weeks and the invite to come back. They really enjoyed the fact that people came in, and got information. It was very positive, I think. And it was very easy. It's just to set up and then at the end take it down. And in between pop in, but had there been any issues, they would have told us anyway. But we popped in and made sure there was still plenty of recipes. And
Yeah. And did I hear you mention as well that you had a sugary drinks display there? What else did you have on your static display for that one?
We had the great material which comes from you, Jemma. We had all of that up on display. That we sort of had it that you could put it on the window, and they're happy for that to happen. And then, of course, we had the wonderful tablecloth, and then our signs, which we have promoting country kitchens, together with lots of recipes, and our so it was quite exciting, actually. I think people enjoyed it, and the fact that they've commented after, I think, is a positive thing too.
Yeah, absolutely. Always really important and valuable to get that feedback. For sure.
And the key messages are so basic, and that's what people say. So I think that's all good. Sharing all of that information, just encouraging us all to think.
Yeah, absolutely. This is fantastic. And what skills do you think that you've developed through being a country kitchens facilitator, or being involved in these types of showcase activities? And do you think, was that expected that you were going to learn these new skills, if any?
2 things spring to mind, Jemma, but really, it's just sort of, it increases our confidence in being able to deliver, cooking demonstrations to people. And especially, I feel that we are country kitchens and QCWA representatives, so we really want to make sure that what we're doing is being done in a positive, happy, relaxed light, but also, making sure that all the educational points are getting across to people. And so that's a big plus, I think, that, and on the first time it's a bit challenging because you think, oh, do I really know enough? Even though you do, but once you've done the one, you're quite confident, and the feedback from people is very positive.
Yeah. Oh, great. And how did you go about developing and fostering, those community partnerships that have led onto you being able to deliver showcases?
For me, I think it was relatively easy in that it was linking in with people that you were already, that you knew or were connected with, or you For example, the library is really keen, and we're going to do, displays across the division in the library. So it's about going to your local library, or going to, the youth workers, the high school. They're all keen for us to get out there. We just need more hands, I suppose. But yeah, it's just making that contact. And sometimes for me, I think it's good if you've got a contact already, you just link with them and they just open arms, come and do. So, and that's because QCWA has got such a good name. So, and also the country kitchens, those that know about it know that it is something good. So it makes it easy for us, I think, that when we do start to make those little steps out into the community, that we've got QCWA behind us. The branding is what helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. And what advice can you give to other facilitators that are maybe looking to take their first step to being involved in, doing country kitchen showcases?
I think the first thing for me was I knew that I had dietitians behind me. I knew that I didn't have to do it all on my own. And to know that anything that we needed to do, we only had to phone or email, whatever, and that help was there. And at not one stage have I ever not felt that I wasn't supported and helped and encouraged or whatever. And the information's there. I just think that, to me, is the best part. And I think use it. That, the team are there and they're happy to help. And the other thing that I would think is because we've got so many contacts out there are so many things we can be doing. Well, that's still on?
Yeah.
Okay. There are so many things that we can be doing, and I think we can very quickly, as women, overload ourselves. And so we must be very conscious of looking after ourselves first and our family and our community while sharing this information, because there's so many people want us to go out and do some educational sessions and to help out and do workshops. So that would be couple of my bits of advice would be look after yourself and work with you girls, because you're all there and it's just so much, just makes it a pleasure.
Great, thank you. And what do you want to see happen with country kitchens in your community, and how do you envision that happening?
Already, we've begun at our next division meeting. We'll have a specified 1-hour country kitchen session. So I think that we really need to value country kitchens, and country kitchens have been going for 10 years, or thereabouts. So I think, if we can really get it out there that it is a wonderful country kitchen's a great program, and really it's of such benefit to all of us if we just look at those 5 key. So it's not difficult, it's just quite easy to do, but it's just that we need to. So I think if we can start, for me, I believe, and we've already started that, we've started having some meetings, get-togethers, not meetings, just get-togethers with the country kitchens in Pioneer, and now we'll have this session, and then those minutes will go out, and with that we'll start doing planning for the year so that we'll know who's doing what shows and what we're able to do, so that none of us are overtaxing ourselves too much, but we're all there to help each other, which we are. It's a great group of country kitchen facilitators we have here, actually.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Absolutely. Oh, well, fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing, those experiences and reflections with us all. That was really, great to hear about how you've gone about those events, and obviously, have achieved quite a lot in your time as a division convener. And I think really those messages around, everyone helping each other and coming together across areas and branches, definitely is always going to make that work a lot easier. And as you said, we're always here to help as a team. So, if you do have any questions or ideas, or you're wanting to get started yourself, if you're listening or watching this, please do just get in touch with your buddy, and we'd love to, help see how we can help get you started. So thank you again, Mary-Therese. Does anyone have any questions for Mary-Therese? No? All right. Well, that is the end, I guess, of our 2 formal parts of this meeting. So now we thought we might just open up the floor for a bit of an opportunity for us to kind of share and talk about ideas or activities, or if you have questions for myself or Alex or Mary-Therese. Does anyone have any questions or things that they'd like to share to get started? Really, kind of anything is, nothing's really off topic.
I'd like to ask Mary-Therese, her display at the local show, her first one, was that a static or a demonstration?
It was a static. Yep. So we chose not to do any, cooking or anything. No.
Okay. Thank you.
And it worked well for us being the first. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Easier.
Thank you.
That's okay, Carol.
Does anyone else have any questions or experiences from doing their own showcases? Questions from anyone they see on the call? Meg, did you?
There's just a question in the chat from Mel, which I can just read out if you'd like me to. So, Mary-Therese, the question's for you, and it's the question is, what will you be covering in the 1 hour Country Kitchens session at? I think the comment is about your branch meeting, but I believe it may have been at your division meeting. So, what will you be covering in that session or that time that you've got dedicated at your division or branch meeting?
In that, we will be working, or I will be, and with the other girls, we will be identifying, which we've already done, some things which we would like to. They're in early planning stages. I don't know, it's probably a bit early just to say what they are, but they're quite exciting. TikTok, all that stuff. But but anyway, there are lots of exciting things that members have already raised. So we'll have that like a full proper agenda where people can discuss. And it will be what we plan for next year. For example, the shows, are we going to do the 3 shows in the area? Are we going to do seniors? Are we going to do, different things and work with the council, the libraries? How much can we do? What do we want to do? So we probably would like to do lots of things, but it's just we need to work that out as a team and that we all feel comfortable in doing. So answer, Mel, or do you want more?
Not in a thumbs up. Excellent.
Okay.
Great. Thank you, Mary-Therese, and thank you, Mel. And I can see in the chat as well, Tara would love to see pictures of the display at the bank. Yeah, I think I've got some of those that I can share. But yes, so yeah, I guess a great example then of having a bit of a display. I did get to see that one in person, luckily, when I was up in Sarina as well. So yeah, it was quite well received by the bank branch members as well as customers and stuff. So yeah, that was a really, really nice idea and something that's a little bit less, time investment heavy as well, just being able to have that static display.
Yes.
Okay. And does anyone else have any questions, ideas, anything they wanted to share with other facilitators?
Yeah, Jemma, it's Leslie McNee, the division convener from Atherton Neighbourland. Just to answer Carol's question, we've done 2 shows now, Carol, at the Atherton show, and both of them we actually did cooking demonstrations as well as handing out samples to people as well as the recipe cards and the rest. Jemma, you were at the second one, the big one.
Yeah, thank you, Leslie. So I think I'm not sure if for everyone else, but the connection, I think, unfortunately, on your audio is a little bit robotic, but I'm pretty sure I picked up everything Leslie was saying, so I will translate.
Thank you.
Yeah, Leslie's just mentioning that, over the last couple of years, Atherton Tableland Division have been involved in the Atherton show. So, and yes, as Leslie said, I was able to come up for that, I believe, a couple of years ago, and what that division did was basically got a lot of branches together from the division, so a range of Country Kitchens facilitators or other members, and we did have taste testers available of Country Kitchens recipes, but Leslie was also just making the point that we did actually do some live demonstrations as well. So we had food available for sale, so it was a great fundraising opportunity. But then, we did also advertise the fact that at certain times across the day, we were going to have a live demonstration, and that actually worked quite well, kind of promoting that. I believe we had some members kind of walk around with big A-frame boards advertising the fact that we, if people wanted to stop by our stall at 10:15, we'd be showing them how to make our corn and zucchini fritters. So we actually got a really nice crowd together, and yeah, we're kind of talking and demonstrating the recipe, and then anyone who came along to watch also got to try it and take a recipe card. So yeah, doing something like that where it's the division coming together for a large event like the Atherton show or something can be a nice way to kind of start to get involved in those activities. So yeah, might look to hopefully do that next year, Leslie. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Leslie. Thanks, Jemma.
We've still got a bit of time, so if anyone has any questions either in the chat or feel free to shout out. Otherwise, if not. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for coming along to our first Northern Region Facilitator Networking meeting then today. As we did say, this session has been recorded. So if any of you joining us now live wanted to revisit any of the presentation or anything that we've covered, we will be making the recording available as a private link on our Country Kitchens YouTube account. So we'll be circulating that to all of our Northern Region facilitators shortly. And we will also, in that correspondence, also just have a brief survey. So if you did have a couple of minutes, we'd just love to get your thoughts about this, I guess, new meeting concept that we're trialling. And if you have any ideas of suggestions of, if this is something that you'd like to continue to have that opportunity to, be able to connect with other facilitators in your area, then, we'd love to hear your thoughts. So thank you, everyone, again for joining us this afternoon. And we hope you enjoy the rest of your day and week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jemma.
Lovely to see
Thank
you all.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Meg.
Thank you.
Alex.
Thank you.